who had those guys in the top 3 rounds, 4 or 5 rounds. There were guys in this draft because of the depth that slipped. And I talked to Coleman Coleman real late in the locker room period yesterday. He's really upset he didn't get drafted. And he used some fairly descriptive verbiage to say how upset he was. So he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder, and he's a guy, when you look at the positions these guys signed at, Loston, Coleman, Reynolds, there would seem to be spots. Their task is doable. It's not a long shot that they would make the team. So the fit seems right, and as Reynolds pointed out, he's done some research into this, Reynolds has, about 30% of the guys in this league didn't get drafted. So it's not absurd at all to think that these guys could be on the roster.
We're live on Jaguars.com from Rookie Minicamp. You're looking at wide receiver position drills with Jerry Sullivan, the wide receivers coach with the yellow shoes, and the Jaguars rookie wide receivers. This is Damian Copeland out of Louisville. Played, of course, alongside Teddy Bridgewater for the Cardinals. 11 is Marquise Lee, the second-round pick. Number 80 is Allen Robinson, the second-round pick for the Jaguars this year.
And just interesting, too, to see them working with Jerry. I keep going back to the phrase that Jerry used when he was talking to the writers after the draft of knowing what he wants to see and being able to translate that. He's working with Marquise Lee now. His knowledge of how it's supposed to look and his ability to verbalize that to the receiver and have it be in an understandable way. Again, I don't know how much longer he wants to do this, but you get the idea that he may be looking at Lee and Robinson as sort of the guys that he can leave his legacy with and kind of leave them pointed in the right direction. He told me a couple years ago he wanted to push Cecil in the right direction before he got out of it. So certainly he has a chance with these 3 guys, Cecil and Robinson and Lee, to leave an impact on this organization, certainly.
Gus Bradley with a close eye on this group today. Head coach, hands on his knees, kind of leaning in, looking. Tony Sorrentino working out with this group today, too. Assistant coach for the Jags. Bortles throwing to tight ends now in the middle of field 1. A few different positions at once. We're stuck now in the wide receivers for the moment.
Huge amount of reps for Blake yesterday, too. He took 50 of the snaps compared to Morris taking about 15. You would expect,
back it off today?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, it's you would expect that, but it was still notable that he took that many and he got all the reps. He was not, as we talked about, not absolutely fantastic on the deep throws yesterday, but he had a lot of throws, intermediate routes where he looked really, really good and seemed to maybe be developing the first inkling of some chemistry with Marquise Lee.
One day. That's the one thing.
Yeah,
it's
and
hard
that's why you don't make too much of it. Even if he misses some receivers, or there's some stuff that doesn't look quite right, especially in the passing game, there's so much about the receivers knowing where to go, him knowing where to go. He's working on some footwork thing they want to work with him on. So, this is about the fans getting a chance to see this kid.
And, just going back to what Blake told us in the car ride from the airport, of all things, he doesn't worry about if he knows his receivers or not. That's what he said at the combine.
Right.
If they're going to go 12 yards, come back to 10, throw it between the cones, and the guy will be there. And that's pretty much the case in a camp like this. You don't have the chemistry yet.
Exactly right. And that'll work out as it goes. And it is sort of a neat concept, and we're not going to see it today. Obviously, it takes a long time for it to play out. But it's not that routine that you would have a quarterback coming in with 2 second-round receivers. So if by chance all 3 of those would work out, boy, what a thing you have for the long haul. That's pretty rare, and the odds would say that not all 3 of those